That's a... Let's take a little bit on that one. Anyway, hello, Internet! Oh my god. Trying to do everything 2 windows again, and it's proving very difficult. But before we get rolling on Clue tonight, let me show off the Soto blog for this week. There's not that much, actually. Okay, I say there's not that much, but it's like a complete set reveal. But 1 second. But a new block came out. Actually, let me translate on this. Yeah, one thing information-wise, and that is that you're doing all of the forms from Kamen Rider Kuga. So I'm willing to bet 3 sets of some variety. 1 is a Rising theme set, 1 will be an Ultimate theme set with Amazing, Mighty, and Ultimate. I'm willing to bet Growing's going to be in that set, especially since I feel like, especially with how Ultimate's designed, it's going to take some of that budget and like, oh, just do a 3-figure set and take the budget for a 4th figure and just put it in Ultimate and make it look really good. I'm also expecting that one to be Premium Bandai. But yeah, they're doing that. I guess no Rising Ultimate yet, but I'm almost willing to bet that, since they've already done Decade and the End, that a Decade Complete D and Complete will come with Rising Ultimate, most likely. And they already showed off some unpainted prototypes for the Kuga Mighty form. But then they announced a Soto Chronicle Deno set that gives us all 3 forms of Zeranos. So Altair Zeranos looks pretty good with the sword. Vega Zeranos with a Deneb on the front. And finally, Zero Zeranos, where, oh, that gun's going to be fun to sticker up for anyone who wants this set. And new Deno Strike form. New Deno Vega form. But again, this seems to cover, like, I'm almost willing to call it the core Deno stuff. Even though it does include a bit of movie material with a new Deno, but it more or less covers everything. And there's some Convergence rider material. Then just talking about, hey, first 3 waves of AI have been pretty good. We don't have new information yet. Stay tuned till next year. More or less 2 weeks. And hey, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are going to come out monthly. Reservations are up. And AI04 is under a different name, which I'm willing to bet maybe has the Geo material we've been looking for those looking for that new material. But yeah, not much else. No Shining Assault. Even though I was kind of expecting Shining Assault this week. Since I'm kind of expecting that to be the last figure of maybe not the last figure, but the next figure of 04. Like, I'm kind of expecting that and Bowser to be in there, and that kind of rounds out the 04 material for January. That way we can go into 05, more or less covering the monthly releases in terms of forms and stuff, and start getting all that covered up. If I wasn't better... If I was better at financing, I'd be super excited for that. But I'm not, so me. I will say, whatever set has Geo in it, I am extremely skipping those and just getting the single figures out of them because I have zero interest in the Geo material, sub-zero interest in the Geo material. I'm cold as hell on that. I want no part of it, absolutely no part of it. And 01 actually came out today, early. Well, I wouldn't say early today, but because I didn't get up until like 3 o'clock. No, like 3:30 today, and had to do the notes at like 6. Okay, 2 locations and a weapon. Sure, we'll roll with that. We might be able to roll with that. But watched it, enjoyed it. The death everyone was expecting is probably not the death everyone was expecting. Well, everyone was expecting a death of some variety in this episode. Is not the death that everyone was expecting, though. And I say, good. And we know from material that death is probably not permanent. Granted, we are dealing with robots and AIs, so death is not a super hard permanence, I feel like. But I got... Alrighty then. Damn it! Yeah, just make me not be able to dunk Scarlet in jail. Damn it. No. The only reason I play Clue anymore. Not really. I really enjoy playing Clue on like Sundays for streams because it's a nice chill thing to play. Anyway, Tommy hasn't asked me for schedule stuff for the next week, but Christmas Eve, I believe, is Wednesday, and I'm not. I am not crazy in thinking something wrong in saying that, like. Yeah, Christmas Eve is Tuesday, Christmas is Wednesday. So... One second. I gotta mark things. So... I don't know what the plan is, considering all that material. I might not stream Wednesday, since it's Christmas. I might take Wednesday night off and stream just Thursday this next week. Maybe Friday if nothing's scheduled, planned, just kind of like move everything over a day or so. Because especially since Donkey Kong Country is going to be a fucking hassle and a half for me. And I'm just like, oh god, I don't know if I want to actually stream this. I kind of want to stream something else, and it's something it's not necessarily been on my backlog because I've had to practically complete it forever. I do feel like streaming it. And we'll probably start that this week. And that'll take us a good while, since... I don't know if I go through all the endings, I would at least try to go through the best endings. Actually, no, that would actually be all endings, considering how that game is structured. Shit. Right. I forgot. To get the best ending, you do have to go through all the endings. Because you require weapons that you only get from other endings. Right. I forgot about that part. No, that's a long way away, considering it's 2 stories. Doubly so, but... Oh. I still feel like emulating it. Vita emulation's out of the way, so we're not playing the remaster of it with the additional content, which is Rebirth. For reference, I'm talking about Muramasa the Demon Blade. It's also the game I dropped on John's sublist, since I'm sub to him. I recommended that game. And it's not that long of a game. It's kind of, I think one campaign or one story of it is 25-ish hours, but that's doubled because you have 2 characters, and it's a little longer than that if you go for all endings and like getting all the blades and stuff. But it's fairly short, so we'll probably have fun playing that. It's like Donkey Kong Country. I was just like, oh, let's play through the trilogy. It'll be fine. Oh, no, I'm stuck in ice hell. Ah, fucking hell. Get stuck on one level for like half the time the other day. Just, yeah, no, this ain't gonna work out. This probably will not be working out. But we'll still keep going with Ace Attorney Trilogy, and we'll go through at least Game 2 for now. Assuming something doesn't, scheduling-wise, if something doesn't come up that makes me gotta go, I gotta do Game 3. We gotta push Game 3 off. Because, like, I know Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind comes out fucking next month and the next month, but like $30 is a lot to ask of me at the moment, especially for a DLC for a game that I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm gonna see how like reviews and such shake out for Remind once it comes out, and then I'll go from there and be like, okay, then we'll do it like after Muramasa. Excuse me? Excuse me? What? 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 Ha! Fuck it, sure. I don't know how I fucking stumbled into this one, but whatever. How the fuck? The big 250. How the fuck did I stumble into the answer there? I was just tossing out shit. So that happened. Yeah, maybe I'll schedule it for after Muramasa, since I'm not in any rush to do Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm especially not in any rush to do Reminds. Which I know is not the streamer way. The streamer way is to do everything day one. And I've done some games day one, but like I've still taken my time with them. So, honestly, I'm happy to take my sweet ass time doing it. We'll get there. We'll get there, and I will have rounded off all of the Kingdom Hearts games, besides, like, fucking struggling through emulation of Union Cross and emulation of the other 2 games. Which, all 3 of those I have sub-zero interest in. So I got 3... So 213? Ah, damn it! You took away my Scarlet option. And my me option. Damn it. Look. No. No. My memes. My ability to meme. Alright. Starting off standard. Good to know. Yeah, this week, non-streaming wise, I got wrapping to do. I got Christmas presents to wrap. I got... once I'm done with that, I got backups I need to do, which I might wait till after Christmas, because I am getting a new external hard drive after Christmas. So I can just... It'd be easier since I already have everything sitting in a downloads folder, just move everything to there, and then download everything the next day or so, and then get everything moved onto that. And also move the current archive over there, just to more or less start fresh going into 2020, more or less. Of course, I am getting Octopath Traveler in, and that could be a thing to do. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if I want to stream through Octopath Traveler. Shit. Blacksmiths? I don't know. We're kind of like wide open on locations right there. I don't know. Rose with knife. Damn it. No rose with knife. Blacksmith though. But it's gonna be a busy week for me. Granted, I'm also coming up on my self-imposed time limit on getting a job, so it's just like I'm getting part-time work at some point. So fun. That I need to. I need to get an income coming in somehow, and I need to get work experience on my resume somehow. That will maybe get me in the door somewhere. Fucking hell. I am so tired of the silent treatment. It sucks. If I could apply to that one. It won't take me anyway because I want experience and I don't have experience. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, maybe someone will take the chance on me. They won't. But I'll toss my hat out there. See if it's tossed back at me or not. I finally, after having some issues, because the mislistings of the episodes, finally got caught up on Tangled, the series that I don't know what happened, but within the last week or so, I decided to watch it, and I've become kind of, like, into the show. It's a nice, funny, like, cartoon show. And it's nice to have been like, oh, fuck, I'm caught up on all the episodes now. I'm caught up to when new episodes come out. Yay! And I'm keeping that way with Steven Universe Future as well, because that started like a couple weeks ago, and I'm trying to remember that those come out on Fridays. They have a pair of their episodes come out on Fridays, and I need to keep an eye out for them. Especially since both Ruby and Zero One are on break this week. And fuck me sideways, they decide to both end off on really strong points. Zero One more or less ended off on the end of an arc, or a major story arc, in the start of the next one, and the preview looks really good, especially with Thouser coming in. And then Ruby ended on a really good cliffhanger of just like, fuck, just when we make progress. Oh no. I'll go in the middle on Peacock. Preshow? Kinda doing the best we can on this one. It's a slow process. Yeah, with both of those on break this week, my things to watch is whittled down a little. But that gives me just more time to watch anything else or just do other stuff, especially since it's Christmas week. And like I said, I'm busy. I got stuff to do. And apparently some of the Beast Morpher Season 2 toys are making the rounds. So the new Morpher that is taking the place of the shit, I don't even remember the name of it. I just remember it as the second visor for the powered morphin modes. But yeah, that's coming out, and so is, or it's just that. Well, we did get artwork of the Beast X King Sword, which is Tatagami Layo plus everything else. No. I am curious how they're doing Layo plus all the other stuff. Or if they maybe will make a way for you to combine Ace and Layo into the rest of the material, or it'll just be, hey, here's Layo with everything else. That's it. I also wonder if they're going to bring in the briefcase for the cannon, and if they're going to make it, like, not say 5 million things every 5 minutes. If they're going to tell it to shut up some. Damn it, I have Scarlet's card. No! Why must you take away my ability to dunk Scarlet in jail? No. No. And I'll probably talk about more on the podcast tonight, but I did see the Star Wars yesterday. I have seen so many mixed opinions on that, because I've seen people be like, oh, this movie's great, and some other people are like, oh, this movie's garbage, and I'm just like, I feel weirdly in the middle of it all, for a variety of reasons. course, I kind of like Star Wars at its best when it's not trying to get metatextual and get very critical of its own material. And it's just like, it's just fun space romp stuff. Just be that. I'm okay with that. You ain't gotta be super serious. Ugh. Banquet hall. Excuse me. I do not need that. I guess we'll do us plus poison. Damn it. Well, we can't self-dunk ourselves in jail. Which I also need to get back to fucking Shovel Knight. I've not touched Shovel Knight in a while. I really should. Probably the wrong time to be trying to like play stuff, but it was one of those cases where I want to get stuff on Sword and set up and get all of those final evolutions. But to do my the really good training method, I feel like I'd have to go do the refights, which I don't know, maybe just worry about doing the post game stuff, and that might give me all the experience, or a lot of the experience I need for a lot of evolutions, and then just breed out copies, and then just set up trades, just being like, yo, I'm gonna trade you this. Can you do equivalency for me? I would like equivalency, please. It makes me miss the GTS where I could just be like, I'm just gonna search for this. Or just put it up and it'll be done in a little bit. Well, ballroom's our only main option to try to get new info. And I know Figure Arts, from what I saw, said, hey, here's Jin, and I'm like, cool, I literally have a Jin figure on the way. Because Soto already has it out, and I didn't even see the release date for Figure Arts Jin. Let me guess, when is the release date on it? Fucking August? Fucking August of next year. Fucking hell. Fucking hell, 01 would be almost done at that point. Fuck sakes, Figure Arts. Jesus. I am so glad I have decided to just drop Figure Arts, because fuck me sideways if I would not be waiting an eternity for everything. Luckily, Muteki's been announced and has a release date. Yay! I'll have fun tracking that down. I wouldn't be surprised if Genius is not far behind him at some point. Which means, hey, the last two things that aren't already existing, I can just go track down, and then, assuming I have the money for it, I can go and just get all of build and just be like, alright, there, Figure Art's done with everything I ever want from this fucking line until they actually give me something off the wall. But honestly, at that point, I'm just like, just give me the core 4 writers from build, give me the machine builder, give me Muteki and Genius, and I'm done. I'm not gonna bother with anything else. Of course, I'm excited for Persona 5R next year. And Scramble keeps looking good, better and better. Like, we won't get it until like summer of next year in America, unless you import it and just deal with the Japanese subtitles and whatnot. But I'm more than content to wait for Scramble, since Persona 5R is just gonna absorb a lot of my RPG time. Granted, not as much, because I am more than willing to fast forward through scenes that I'm like, I know this doesn't have any information here. I'm happy to just fast forward through this. And just get the good stuff, the new stuff. Which I'm glad that they're doing new stuff like all around Persona 5R instead of just an epilogue stuff. It seems like there's a good chunk of epilogue stuff, which is fine. But at least there's material in between there, and I dig that. Well, we already know that, so that's not new information to us. But we're at least down to 2, and I'm willing to bet Peacock's one of them. I'm at least willing to bet that. Of course, I would like to play RE2 at some point, but, I don't know. Fuck. Alright, which one? Miranda, of course. Down to 2, at least. As I'd say, we don't have one on location, so... That at least gets us one of Gray's cards. Or not Gray, White. Why did I say Gray? Wrong person. White. Ugh. Gallery or theater? Gallery? So gray's a good option. What about weapon? Weapon. Ugh. Poison? Still feeling poison. Ooh. Ooh. Damn it. We got suspect now. We are closer. Very, very much closer. Well, outside of waiting for a friend of my uncle's to get back to him and then to me about if he can 3D print my risers, I tried checking Shapeways to see if they would 3D print my risers, and it'd be fucking grand per set of risers, and I was just like, fuck that. Like, immensely fuck that. I want no part of that. That is way too much. It probably doesn't help that they 3D print like smaller stuff, not bigger stuff. So this is one of the bigger things that you would be expected to be. They'd be expected to be 3D printing. Because it's not like they're detail or anything. It's just like literally 4 steps. That's it. I guess go across the banquet hall. I believe in the poison. The poison might fail me. The poison has failed me. Oh no. Yeah, bae. Nah, that doesn't leave us with very many options. That's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 each. We really need some new info. We really need something narrowed down, like weapon or location wise, because we're down to like what, 3 locations? Okay, we're down to 6. 6 split across the 2 of them. Well, at the very least, this ends at us, so if we can go through white, that would give us something substantial. Except that's half my hand. Thanks. Fuck sakes. Of all the times to guess 3/3 of my hand instead of 2/3 of my hand. Motherfucker. Alright. Scarlet. Poison. Fucking arcade. Fucking hell. Great. That was exactly 0 information. New information for us. And all the information from them. Theater. El Lucobong! Fuck. Which one? Which goddamn one? Theater. Which means... I knocked that out. That means we're down to 2 locations again. Still don't have a definitive call on anything. Oh. I know you have white. Eliminated that. Which gives us banquet hall. Which confirms ballroom. Which knocks out that. They got it. Let me guess. Sword. That's not it. That's extremely not it. I have 2 of those cards. I am sorry, Peacock. You have dunked yourself out of the game. Congratulations. None of those 3 options are right, for I had all of them. Oh my god. Peacock, what the fuck? How did you not know I had all 3 of those? That was nowhere close to right. Snake Eyes! Oh my god, we might just win this. If we can get into ballroom. Or not. Shit. Banquet hall. Sword. Sword. Got it. Got it in 1. I know. You have banquet hall. But I have the answer! Oh, it was Gray! With the sword! In the ballroom! Babushk. Oh, that is my 50th game of Clue that I've won. The hell is my win-loss ratio at that rate? We have played a lot of Clue. Oh my god, I'm at 666 times rolling the dice. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Let's hop on a boat. On a boat. Le boat. My comments on Twitter got read out on on Soda Pop, which was nice. They even remembered, it's like, oh yeah, you remembered me because I was asking, because I remembered, it was on the podcast before this past week's, they mentioned at the end about someone talking about Soto Shoto's Divide stuff, and I was just like, is that my stuff? And then I just posted it anyway after a while when no one answered, so it's just like, alright, here it is. Here's that answer. I just dumped in a Notepad document because I didn't know how to really link a YouTube comment, since that's where I dumped mine. So that was nice. No reaction out of it at all, because of course not. But I was listening to their RRR show Friday night, listening to them talk about stuff. Their show's fine. I just excuse me. I still don't have that like really good discussion show for at least the episodes. Well, that guess went nowhere. Let's go to the game room. And we are rolling till 12:30. That's gonna be a late night tonight. Fine. Sleep until 3:30 means, oh look, I can stay up for quite a while. Scarlet, you did it with a flare gun by somehow. I don't think if flare guns are that deadly. Just directly shooting a flare gun at someone. Damn it, of course you have your own card. Damn you, Scarlet! Because I don't think a flare is being shot with that much force. So I don't think it can pierce through you. Or pierce into you. I'm trying to see what the hell Tom got. Looks like some like candy popcorn, some truffles. I don't know what those are. And I can't tell, there those like biscuits of some variety, like Oreo style biscuits of some candy variety. I can't tell what these red things are. Alright. The seller for my new cable was just like, "Oh, was it up to your standard?" Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, it's fine. It worked. And from what I tested, it worked fine. So I'm like, you know, it ain't a big. It's like you ain't gotta push me for a review. I'm used to not doing reviews on Amazon for products. You know, seeing Dan do all of these Yu-Gi-Oh games that are on PS2, this has made me go, you know, I have never played the original Jack and Dexter trilogy or the Sly Cooper trilogy, and I should really do that. Especially because of their, like, connected nature to Ratchet and Clank. Excuse me, and I've never played any of those games. I really should. It's like one of those things that needs to go on a list of things for me to stream at some point. I know where that's stopping, if not at Scarlet. And in case you don't know, folks, we're talking the Forza solo film tonight. Which I didn't get around to watching until Friday night. Yeah, I watched it Friday night and did up the notes like 2.5 hours after I got up, which is not that long. Not that long ago. It is weird to be, oddly enough, considering we went from double to O's to Forza. It's kind of odd that the end of our Forza material we're covering will be Ultimatum, and Ultimatum is kind of this final connective tissue moment, or connective continuity moment with these individual movies. Since like A to Z, really. It's so weird, for me at least. Because it's like, past this point, we don't really have that kind of connective tissue, because the next one after this is Sengoku Movie Tyson, which more references the Heisei special than anything else. Because of course it does. Because everything must revolve around Decade when it comes to connective continuity. Plum with oxygen tank? Kinda taking shots in the dark here. I could've went ore. We got no information on ore. But we're more just fishing around, seeing what we get. Because, like, there's that. The Wizard movie is standalone. There's not really any references. Gaim doesn't even show up in that movie. Which is the first time... Which is really the first time in those solo movies since... Fuck, I don't know... The Dino one? No, the Kiva one. That the next writer did not make a cameo appearance in the solo film of the previous writer. Because Double was in Decades. O's was in Doubles. Forza was in O's. Wizards in Forzas. But Gaib's not in Wizards. And Drive actually also doesn't show up in Games. You don't get another cameo like that until Drives, where Ghost appears. And then X8... No, X8 shows up in Ghosts. Yeah, he does show up in Ghosts. Yeah, X8 shows up in Ghosts. And then Build shows up in X8s and Geo shows up in Builds. That gets us no new information. But yeah, from then on, like that connective continuity just kind of doesn't exist. You don't really get back around to that. I don't know, to like the Hasty Generations movies, I feel like. Because Full Throttle is fairly standalone from any of the other Move Tyson films. And after that is... Fuck, that's Genesis, which is a... Speaking of continuity, Genesis is a fucking mess of continuity that like takes a novel to fucking fix. Congrats on that one. And we really don't hit any, and then that's the start of the Hasty Generations movies from there. Hello. That gave us some good info. And by good info, that gave us a card. Yeah, that gave us Game Room. The Games Room. I don't know why it's not just Game Room. Well, I have the information. But yeah, we don't really have like a string of connective tissue of sorts of continuity like past this point with Ultimatum, so it's like kind of the end. And I think that's when like the executive producer changed over and it's just like, fuck Foundation X. No, die Shocker, fucking bring back all the Showa era villains for an eternity, even though they have nothing to do with Heisei era. They have everything to do with one fucking character in this fucking era, and that's it. And even then, that feels like something that shouldn't have happened to start with. Because, like, Decade is a Heisei era writer. Why is he dealing with Showa era material? It's just one of those. It's just like, you are not the anniversary of the Showa era. You are not an anniversary of this entire franchise. Why are you being co-opted into this role so hard? Because the whole Showa Heisei divide doesn't exist in Sentai, really, as far as I know. And I honestly can't tell you where that divide starts and ends. Or where that divide is. Or like what series that does, and I don't think it even mattered. I think Super Sentai often gets split up by, like, the decade, really. Yeah, Life Man. Yeah, from, like, the original series Go Ranger to Life Man. But yeah, people often split up Sentai just by, like, the decade it happened in, rather than any type of Give me a second. And mark. Rather than any of the Showa Heisei divide, really. I guess it's because, like, there's so much more material on the Heisei end of thing, or on the Heisei era thing end of things than the Showa era, that it was kind of arbitrary by the time anyone gave a shit. Or anyone could give a shit. So I don't know. It's just one of those aspects of Decade that annoys me because it feels like a last minute, let's throw this in here to give Decade something resembling a main villain faction when he had none for most of the series if it wasn't just Narataki fucking with shit. Let's go lounge. So Plum's a good choice, and Harpoon's a good choice from the looks of it, so let's go with them. See what we end up with. Scarlet has him Harpoon, doesn't she? No, that gives us weapon. Okay, that gives us a lot of information. Damn. Fuck. So we might have suspect now, depending on what Burnett has. Because if he has Plum, then like that gets us back to square one, really. But if he doesn't, that gets a suspect. So now it's just a race across the board to figure out location at that rate. Look. Look. And in discussing it with Tommy over the weekend, we have more or less decided we are rolling back the deaths that Haru inflicted upon both of us. Especially since in my case it rolled back my entire fucking team practically, and more or less put me back at square one. Especially since Hariyama was also co-opted into that, since he died when I was trying to level up people, because fucking Struggle decided to obliterate me in one fucking hit. I'm still pissed about that, by the way. So we're gonna roll back those deaths and kind of continue forward with that. Because otherwise, either off stream or next stream, we would be having to go back and like catch stuff and then evolve and like level it up in order to get us back on track, and that's more than either one of us want to deal with. Which I read it again. This is why I don't do Nuzlocks. this is why I don't want to casually do Nuzlocks on my own time and not for streaming. Not for streaming, because this shit can happen, and this shit, like, something like that can absolutely destroy your run and, like, put you into a very close to no-win situation. And that just sucks. It just sucks to go, well, there's nothing I can do now. Yeah, since we're rolling those back, we should be fine going forward. I might want to make sure my team's all nice and leveled back at, or make sure my team's like nicely balanced going forward. But yeah, Haru fucking kicked both of our asses, because fucking course he did. Well, that confirms green for us. Which doesn't get us anything else, but narrows it down to a 50-50. Potentially. We know a card in everybody's hands. For now. You know, I'm still tempted for us to maybe do the Persona 5 anime at some point. I kind of want to do a video game show of some variety for TGSR, since we do a lot of video game stuff. I feel it's only appropriate that we do a season of some video game show for TGSR. It would just be figuring out which one would not drive us insane. And we would stop watching. Because there are some pretty bad ones. You know, I referenced a pretty bad one when I was doing the SNES stuff with Banana Slammer, which is the fucking Donkey Kong Country one, which, oh boy, if you don't know what you're getting into with that, oh, strap the fuck in, folks, because you're in for a ride on that one. But, yeah, there's that, I think the original Mega Man series wasn't good. All of the Mario ones are of probably not good qualities. The Zelda one may not be as bad. Captain N, I think, is of questionable quality as well. Mortal Kombat's definitely of questionable quality. Actually, no, it's probably just outright bad. I'd have to see, like, what all is listed there. Well, that confirms dining room. I think that lost us the game. Well, I guess I'm doing a 3-man game. I got caught up reading a Twitter thread. Oh, good lord, we have multiple Sonic Boom. I forgot about how many Sonic Boom there are. Or not Sonic Boom. How many Sonics there are. There's plenty of Sonics. I forgot they made Attack on the Power Teacher series. Right. And then there's about like a dozen plus or so anime. They're all based off some type of video game to some degree. Because that's not that hard. Is that 2-2-2? Okay. Kind of balanced on that one. Some live action shows. And the Witcher series. And a bunch of series about video games. And thank you for giving me all these episodes of shows about video games. Figment of your unknown mind. You know, I started watching a bit of it, but like the Mega Man like EXE series, I think technically Mega Man NT. Forget the name of that sub-series of Mega Man's. But I think that series is pretty good. And it's pretty long running, so it could last us a while. I'm trying to think of something good, since we are when we are done with Forza here, we are hopping into Ghost, and that's could potentially get into a rough ride by the end. Wow, fucking Snake Eyes. Hot damn. That just directly dumped us in the toilet. Yay! Yeah, I would kind of like us to be able to watch a good show, and especially by the end, because I'm sure Ghost is probably going to go downhill for both of us. I don't know if it's going to be hard, but it may not be as bad as like something like Geo, which I am still of the mindset that, like, from what I've seen of Ghost, even with all of its problems, it's still a better put together show than Geo is at times. What are these rolls? I'm just getting some low-ass low rolls right off the bat. Alright. Yeah, Twitter thread I was reading was someone talking about like professional criticism of material, and I'm just like, a part of me gets really annoyed when someone's like, "Ah, fuck the critics. I like this movie." I'm just like, you know, maybe those critics had a point. You know, you could hear them out. There is more to any piece of media than whether or not you liked it or not. There is rules and methodology and all of that. There is that type of stuff that exists. That's real. There is a way to look at media objectively. Because you look at the nuts and bolts of the story and stuff and see if it's put together well. And I know, everyone's got feelings and opinions on media, but like, there's a way to look at things objectively. It's okay. Like, I may not like Kabuto, and I may think it's a bad show, but that will not stop me from watching, at the very least, a in-depth analysis of Kabuto that might show me what is good about the show. Because I know people like the show. I know a lot of people who like the show. But I don't see that quality, and maybe I'm missing it. Maybe I'm missing something in the nuts and bolts of Kabuto that belays its quality. I'm just like, there's just so many options here, and all of them just are blank. So we are more or less rolling the dice. Fuck. But yeah, if someone can get into the nuts and bolts of Kabuto and go, this is why the show works. This is why the show has a good quality. Like, maybe I can start to see like why people like Kabuto besides reasons I don't know. Reasons I don't know and I can't agree with. Come on, give me some good info. That's not good info. Thanks for picking Peacock of all the ones you could pick. That and Plum. neither one of those will get me anything. Especially if it's coming from Peacock herself. Ugh, ugh. Graveyard? Let's go graveyard. I don't know, I'm gonna keep guessing me until we get something. Silver bullet. There's Orchid. So, 3... Practically all of them. All but 3. I was about to say, I have nothing close to a final accusation. Alright then. That gave us mustard. So that put us down to 2. Hey. Alright, Dice, where are you putting me? What are you giving me? Let me guess, you have Throne Room?
Hello.
Hello. So how does it feel to have both 01 and Ruby to be on break at the same time?
Oh, they both are on break at the same time.
Yeah, Ruby's on break this week, and so is 01. At the very least, 0-1 went out with a pretty good bang.
Yeah.
Also, is it weird that it felt like we got kind of 2 episodes spliced-ish together in a weird sort of way?
Really?
Well, not okay. It feels like we got like an end of an episode and then an epilogue as an episode. Because we had like half the episode be that fight between Aruto and Jin, and then the rest of the episode is kind of epilogue, kind of setup for the next arc. It's like, okay, Hirobi's at Ames headquarters, locked up for now. Guy is stepping in to do a hostile takeover of fucking hidden intelligence, and I fucking call that. I knew that happened. I knew that's what his plan has been. Which we did get scans that gave us a little new information. More or less, Zaya has their own monsters of the week that are using either Zetsumo risers, like bolted onto the Ames shot riser, like holster, but turned like at an angle. And they're going to be raids. And they're not Humagears, they're humans that are enhanced through Progrise keys.
Well then.
Yeah. Which we're already seeing him trying to enhance humans in 2 weeks preview. And I'm like, oh, so we've been dealing with Humagears for a quarter of the show. Now we're dealing with someone trying to like fucking enhance humanity and try to make them this super evolved species, and it's like, oh, that's a problem. You're trying to turn humans into computers, aren't you? Aren't you? That's how you try to take over the world.
You know what that almost smells a lot like?
What?
Chronicle.
Yeah. Oh, look.
But my thing is, though, I'm fine with this if that's the path they're planning to go, because it actually seems like they're introducing them so quick that they probably have a plan for when this gets finished, kind of deal.
Yeah, because as someone pointed out, we are missing one person from Metsubo Jinrai. We are missing our Rai or Bo, whichever one. Whichever one Ikazuchi was not supposed to be. We're missing them, and it's just like, you wouldn't have spotlighted that in the very episode you introduced Ikazuchi if you were not going to bring this up at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm not surprised. Fucking Hirobi's still kicking, and Jin's getting a form change within the next like 3 months. Of course they're not done. Why would they not be done? They're robots. As long as there's some backup of them, they can still be kicking. They just need to get downloaded into a body. Oh, look, we even made special point of Aruto getting Flying Falcon back. I wonder where Jin's backup is.
Yeah, because we know he's not going to use Dodo.
Yeah. And hell, his upgrade is Burning Falcon.
Why do I get the feeling that everyone's mucking around with the different keys is going to be what's actually going to cause the final villain?
I would not be surprised, because I have a sneaking suspicion, I've seen it talked about elsewhere, that the Ark is final villain.
I could see that.
The Ark itself will get a body and download itself into, and oh look, here's our final villain.
Like I said, because of everyone's mucking around.
Mm-hmm.
And if that actually happens, the Ark would have knowledge of every key made.
Yep.
I just hope that if that's where they're going with it, they don't do it too early.
Yeah.
Like, I hope we wait till like late 30s. That way it kind of can give that last little bit.
Yeah, so we don't have to find every way to kill Ark for like 12 episodes.
Yeah. Like, I get giving a little bit of conflict and maybe give the whole loss-win coin flip there.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it shouldn't be a case of the heroes lose once and then proceed to beat the what should be main villain every week.
Yeah.
It's like once or twice back and forth, sure. Yeah, it shouldn't keep going for more than that, though.
Yeah. Because they've already mentioned several times about how the Zaya satellite has made predictive measures against the Ark in some way, or against like things going on.
Yeah.
Because they've even done that with like the assault grip now. They mentioned the episode is just like, hey, why isn't this attempting to kill him? It must be that the satellite configured it to not kill him. I'll buy that.
I mean, the only other thing that I could potentially see is we do know one of the progress keys actually uses a part that's attached to the satellite.
Yeah.
What if final battle is both of them fighting each other?
That would make sense. And I'm wanting to say that's game. I think Peacock's got it, unless... No. Okay, so you had some of those cards. Great. Oh, there's a year-end summary for your Switch playtime and stuff that Nintendo's doing.
Oh, really?
Yep. All you have to do is just go to the website, log in, and it'll tell you everything, assuming it's correct. It wasn't correct a little bit sometimes with mine, because it said my first game was Fire Emblem Warriors, which I believe is wrong. My first game was Splatoon 2. But it eventually got correct.
Eventually.
Yeah. The second time I went through it, it listed everything properly. Might show that off before we transition over. There it is. That's the website.
Ah.
Okay, now it's saying Breath of... No, oh yeah, no, Breath of the Wild would be my first game. Actually, now that I think about it. It probably doesn't help that, like, I think I played several games that day, so it's kind of confused on which one's first. Because I think it only goes off the day. And not, like, like, which one was exactly first.
Well, mine's correct.
Let me guess, Splatoon 2?
Nope.
Oh.
No, I got it launch. Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, right. Right, you got it at launch, I got it at Christmas. Wait, was Odyssey a launch title?
No.
Or no, not a launch title. Why am I saying? It came out at Christmas, right?
I believe so.
No, technically Odyssey was my first game because I booted it up as soon as I pulled out the Switch and stuff. Odyssey's technically my first game. So technically that part's wrong, but I believe I also played Breath of the Wild that same day. So, like, technically there are several options that are correct. I also love how all my most played games are all games I streamed to some capacity.
Well, I love the fact that the most played on mine, Fortnite, Odyssey, Maker 2, Daggerhood, and Ultimate. So, boils down to game we stream, 2 games I speedrun, and then pretty much the other 2 that I've even kind of sunk a good little chunk of time in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm also wondering if the placement of it is highest to lowest. Because if so, then I'm wondering if it's counting sleep time.
I don't know.
Because Maker 2 shouldn't be that far up.
Yeah. Granted, I close games when I put mine to sleep, so...
I do when I think about it.
Yeah. Mine's 3 Houses, Tetris, Smash, Pokemon, Ace Attorney Trilogy. 325 hours across 20 games.
Which, that's games and demos, keep that in mind.
Yeah.
But mine's 426 across 38.
August 30th, March 31st, and April 20th. I don't know what days I did for those. Although you can tell which months I was probably streaming a game or playing a game. As those low months, I can almost guarantee I was barely playing my Switch.
You know, I actually don't know if those would have been any days you would have streamed. Now that I'm looking at that.
Yeah, I don't know either.
None of them would have been days that you would have normally.
Were any of those a Friday?
I think one. Yeah, the August one.
Yeah.
But the other 2 are not.
Yeah.
One's a Saturday and one's a Sunday.
Okay, then no. Those were me just playing things. The August one might have been the release of something. But even then, I don't think so. 428 gold points. And that's it. And my recommendations are Skyrim, Luigi's Mansion 3, Diablo 3, Bayonetta 2, and Hollow Knight.
Hmm. Apparently mine's Rocket League, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Puyo Puyo Tetris, Stardew Valley, and Overcooked Special Edition.
Chronicles 2 is good.
That would probably be the only one out of that I would even consider.
I think the only problem with Chronicles 2 is that the system you get your blades, which is more or less your main weapon, it's more or less loot boxes, but you don't spend money on it. It's more just like loot box odds, essentially, because to get the named ones, you more or less just have to keep throwing crystals until you get them. I think I want to say I still do have a calculator for that, but I cleaned out my drive the other day to try to open up some space on it, since, still at about 10 gigs used. I am so close to deleting all of my final project stuff, because I've already got a backup of all of it in a zip folder. But I don't know if any of my teammates have anything like that. And I've been out of contact with them for ever since I did that. So I don't know. I might just delete it, and if they want it, I will send them the fucking zip folder with everything. Because I can almost guarantee that's what's eating up most of my drive space, is all of that. All the videos, all the documentation, all the fucking everything for that.
I could see it.
But anyway, you ready?
I guess so.
Alright, gonna take the stream down, and we'll be right back with talking the Forza movie. See you in a bit, folks.